It's my feel-good breakfast show.
There you have it, that little happy tune that means baby talk on your Feel Good Breakfast Show this morning. Welcome back. Now, your child needs different nutrients to grow and develop. This we know. Now, to get these nutrients, they need to eat a wide variety of fresh, healthy foods. And everyone knows that the school holidays make it kind of hard to convince your little one to eat healthily. Exactly, especially when they're up and about. But fear not, Paediatric Dietitian Kath Megaw is right here with us. She promised to give us a couple of tips on how to maintain healthy eating throughout the holidays. Kath, welcome. Welcome.
You're wearing a cape today. You're like a superhero that has swept in from on high to save our children from unhealthy diets. We'd love to hear from you guys as well. 021 430 9881. If you've got any cool tips to share with us on how to get those little ones inspired to eat healthy foods.
How do you do it?
The holidays are supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be about kicking back, relaxing, and eating whatever we want. Just how much of a shift in your experience happens over this time? Yeah, and how dangerous is it to relax the rules around eating especially?
I think the Easter holiday period is probably one of the more challenging ones for children, more than even Christmas. Christmas is more an adult overeating time.
Yeah.
Whereas Easter, you find, because it's all about lots of chocolates and sweets and that, it can get a bit overboard. However, the holidays actually are a wonderful opportunity to actually enlist some healthy eating principles, especially if you've taken time off work. You've got a bit more time on your, schedule, and you can actually engage children in some healthy recipes and fun recipes. And if you look out there, there are a lot of really nice alternatives to traditional puddings or traditional treats that you can actually adapt, cut the sugar down a little bit, and still enjoy the time together.
Like brownies made from beans. It's possible, and it's delicious.
We were doing so well.
I know, we were on a good run there.
I have to throw that. Kath, I need to ask you, so in your experience, what advice could you give us, or maybe to parents listening right now, to go for those healthier kind of alternatives, those healthier meals that we can prep over the holidays?
I think, again, keep it simple and do it from scratch. So instead of spending lots of money on takeaways, go and get you kind of easy to cook chicken piece. Make a bigger meal at night so that you can use leftovers the next day. We tend to get together with families, so we brine quite a bit. So braai a little bit extra, especially in South Africa, and it's still the summer season, and use that for snacks kind of during the day and for lunchtime. And then also I think the important thing is treats are don't always have to be about food. Spend time, go on out in. Exactly. When you hide Easter eggs, you can actually hide little toys. It doesn't always have to be chocolates. Kids get loaded with the chocolates, and I've had parents tell me we've still got Easter eggs from last year.
Oh, wow.
So,
not in my house, because I'll eat them.
Dry meats and Easter eggs ain't going to be hanging around for one night, let alone 1 year. I think, and this probably blankets right across the year, a lot of parents out there battle with their little ones to eat a healthy breakfast to start the day on the right note. So maybe, do you have some practical advice there on how to get your little one to eat? If they're just not hungry and wanting to eat in the morning, how do you inspire them to start their day well?
Sometimes, because especially the little ones, we want them to sleep a bit longer, push them a bit so that we can stay in bed a little bit longer. So we tend to give a lot more milk in the mornings, and then we fill them up on their little bottles or their sippy cups of milk. So just be careful of that. Just watch the amount. Some good healthy rusks, that kind of rusks with our coffee and rusks with their milk, it actually can be part of a good healthy breakfast. So it doesn't have to be discounted. Exactly.
It's got make fiber. The rusks together.
You make the rusks together, exactly. And also, I think we must remember, breakfast doesn't have to come in a box. It can be a bit of leftovers the night before. Children tend to actually eat better earlier on in the day. Children really do the thing, eat like a king, eat like a prince, eat like a pauper, and by the end of the day, you find they tend to eat a lot less. So that's when you want to give them the
just need to teach them the eggy dance, man.
The eggy dance, man. Listen, I just want to, like while we're talking about this subject, I mean, I had a moment last night. We had dinner, and we gave my boys lasagna. Which is not bad, but then they didn't eat it because we're going to talk about why my little one skips dinner, doesn't eat as much as dinner. But they said, I miss my chicken, rice, and broccoli. I was like, wow.
What have you done to your children, man?
I've done something right. I know, I've converted them, which I think is great, man.
Want some greens, Dad? Why are you depriving me?
Anyway, so we're going to continue talking on the subject. If you have any questions, let us know. Call us 0214309881. We'll be back with Kath in just a bit.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, welcome back, you beautiful souls. Having an absolute blast getting into just the joys of parenting. And what are those joys?
It is beautiful.
It really is. Now, I laugh because my little one has been sick with a bit of a bug and flu and teething all at the same time. So eating has been kind of secondary for us. But I think a lot of parents out there really challenged with controlling diet, especially around the holidays. We want our little ones to have fun and relax and be able to be free. But you also don't want to break certain routines that could have we are learning far-reaching implications on the diet side.
Absolutely. So we're talking to Kath Megaw this morning. Kath, thank you very much once again for joining us. I just wanted to pick up where we left off earlier on with regards to dinner time. Why do some people struggle with their little ones to finish their food, or they eat very little? Because I still find it. I mean, my boys are a little bit older now already. 7 and 4, you know. So but they still go through these kind of, I don't want to eat. And why is that?
I think at the end of the day, all our thresholds are a lot lower. That's why we talk of the happy hour. Our sensory thresholds, we've had so much input on all levels, noise, busyness, we're tired. And we often find, because of the way we structure our lives, supper we presented with the most sensory meal of the day. It's got the biggest, strongest flavors, the most challenging textures, and it's often the biggest meal. And these little kids are faced with this enormous amount of food, and actually would be probably fine with just a bit of yogurt or a porridge or something that has got a lot lower on the sensory challenge. And I often challenge parents and say to them, why not give them something so easy, 1 or 2 textures, fairly bland, that they can eat at night, that you don't have to fight about. Have your main meal, if that's the best time to have it cooked, either by your nanny or yourself, and give that to them for breakfast the next morning when their appetites are big and rearing to go.
You don't have to go as far as chicken and broccoli.
No, but you know what? It's interesting because I think the majority of the African households deem dinner time, you know, that family time, we sit down, we eat, and that's almost like tradition.
Yeah.
So I like that. It's a very interesting take on it.
So you can still get together as a family because it is a special time to engage in that, but it doesn't have to be this huge meal time because sometimes it's also quite late and it's literally like 45 minutes or an hour away from their bedtime.
Well, there might be something in there for all of us, not just the little ones. We had a question come through via our social media platforms. My family is vegetarian. How can I provide the right kind of balance of foods to support their growth?
Vegetarianism is still, I'm still quite supportive of that with children because you can include your dairy products and you also can include eggs. I'm a big fan of eggs because eggs are 100, they give you all the protein that you actually need in a day. So that's what I would encourage if you are doing. If you do, I've got to learn that eggy dance for my patients.
Is a win.
So including eggs on a daily basis in different forms, they're quite versatile. So they can be hidden in food, they can be used as an omelette, they can be used in a pancake, they can be used whole, you know, visibly as an egg. And so that's really one way. And then just variety. And it's not just with vegetarian food eaten, but in general to get the nutrients in. But when it comes to a restricted diet like vegetarianism, the bigger the variety, get a range of nuts because they all have different components of protein and include a big variety of your grains because they also have different components of protein. And then you should manage to get all that you need.
Enjoy explaining what quinoa is. That's always a
Start off with quinoa.
I love it. I think the most important thing here is, and we learn this every day, is practice what you preach. Ultimately, as a parent, what you do will set the tone for how your little ones eat, and you want to set that down nice and early so that they can maintain that healthy diet throughout their lives.